This video is going to help go over homework problems on 8.2, numbers 1, 2, and 3. So I'll kind of help you walk through the problems and get them set up so that you can do the problems here. So number 1 says that Marguerite is building 3 prototypes of a robot she designed. So I'm going to get out my pen here so we've got 3 prototypes of robots. Each robot has a body and a remote control, and she needs 450 inches of wire for each body and 120 inches for each remote control. In addition, she's going to build 1 master remote to run all 3 robots at once. So 1 master robot. The master robot will need 380 inches of wire. Write and evaluate a numerical expression to find the total length of wire she will need. So it's going to have us break this up and do each part separate. So here we have, it asks us to write an expression for the amount of wire needed for a robot. So we're just talking about the robots right now. So 1 robot needs 450 inches of wire for the body, and it needs 120 inches for the remote control. So 1 robot needs this much for the body and this much for the remote control. So we're going to add those together. So remember, an expression doesn't need you to solve it. It just wants to know what would you do. So now we're going to write an expression for the total amount of wire needed for all 3 robots. So this was 1 robot. We need 3 of those. So, if I do this and just say times by 3, then we would have to do 120 times 3 first and then add 450. So we would only be making 3 remotes and 1 robot. So for bodies, we need to figure out how can we make them add the wire together first. So when you want somebody to do something first in math, what do we put around that part of the problem? We put parentheses to say, I want you to do this first. First, combine all the wire, then multiply it by 3. Another way we could write that is just to say 3 groups of 450 plus 120. So when you have the parentheses and the number right next to each other, that means to multiply. So here's for all 3 robots. So here's 1 robot, all 3 robots. Now we're going to write an expression for the total amount of wire needed for all 3 robots and the master robot. So we already did the one for 3 robots. I know to make 3 robots, I need 3 groups of 450 plus 120. And the word and means to add on the master one. So add on 380. And then the last part is to solve this expression. So we'll do our parentheses, then we'll multiply and add on the master remote. Number 2 on our homework says, for a company picnic, Todd fills 30 paper cups with ketchup and Yuki fills 27 paper cups with ketchup. So Todd filled 30, Yuki filled 27. When I first read this problem, I did not read that it was for a picnic, and I just thought that they were filling up cups of ketchup, and I was like, this is the weirdest problem. Why are they just filling up cups with ketchup? But for a barbecue or a picnic makes much more sense. I skipped that word and was very confused. Okay, so Todd did 30, Yuki filled 27. Each paper cup holds 1 ounce. So if I just did 27 times 1, that still equals 27. And 30 times 1 still equals 30. So we're at 30 ounces with 30 cups, 27 ounces with 20 cups. So this is not super helpful. Later, Todd and Yuki learned that 2 other companies' employees each completed exactly the same tasks. So somebody else did what Todd did, and somebody else did what Yuki did. So we've got 2 of these and 2 of these. So we need to write a numerical expression to find out how many ounces of ketchup, which remember was the same, a cup was an ounce, the 4 employees prepared. So I know that I have 2 people that filled up 30, so 30 times 2. And we have 2 people that did 27. And then to get those together, we need to add those there. We don't need any parentheses on this because we'll have to multiply, and we'll have to multiply before we can add. Another way I could do this problem is I could combine the ketchup first, which is 57. So let's just go ahead and say, I want to combine the ketchup. And then somebody else did the same exact thing, 2 groups of 30. So 2 groups of 30 and 2 groups of 27. Or we can use that distributive property and just write it out to show 2 people did 30, 2 people did 27. So now you can use either of these expressions to figure out how much ketchup they prepared. Okay, and number 3 here asks us to look at this picture. And it tells us that at football practice on Monday, Brandon threw a football into his target 5 times. So Monday, 5 times. The next Monday, he tripled that. So triple means he got 3 times more than he did there. On the following Monday, he hits double what he did. So then we're going to multiply that by 2. Write and evaluate a numerical expression to find out how many times he hit the target during those 3 weeks. So then we want to know how much did he do all together. So the first Monday he did 5, and we want to add on the next Monday. And I'm going to put the next Monday in parentheses so we can kind of group each week. So next Monday he tripled this. So the next Monday has 5 times 3. And then that's a part. Then we're going to add on the next Monday, which is actually, hold on, let me think about this. So then on the following Monday, he hits double of this. So now he is doing, let me get my pen back. So yes, so we want to add on, he has to do double of this. So we're getting 5 times 3, and then we're going to double that. So it's not just 2 times 3, he doubled this week. So to figure this all out, we just have 5 here. Then 5 times 3 is 15. And then 5 times 3 times 2 will tell you how many he hit the 3rd week, and put all of the weeks together. Okay, so that is questions 1 through 3. The next parts are just going to be pretty straightforward problems. Don't forget to use your gems here. Do your groups, your parentheses, and even inside your parentheses, you still have to follow the rules. Then do any exponents. Remember, if I have 4 squared, that does not mean 4 times 2. That means 4 times 4. Write it out and think about what it means. Then we multiply and divide left to right, and then subtract and add left to right. So use your gems as you finish those. And if you need any other help on your homework, please let me know and we can set up a time to meet.